Welcome to YouTube 101, a National Troy High School blended learning class, and this is the online version of the class for those people who weren't able to see it or want to review the information. YouTube 101, first of all, why are we here? We're here for a number of reasons. Number one, we want to be able to record classes for students that are absent, be able to give extra intervention work. And then there's the ability for students to review our classes, review problems, whatever we taught, if they didn't get something. And then obviously the most important thing that we're talking about is blended learning. We can blend our online and traditional material in class as a review of topics. We can use it for present new information to our students based on the various learning levels that they're at, so they're not all learning the exact same thing. They can learn different things at different times based on where they're at on the specific material. And then the last thing with blended learning that the videos let us do is let us flip the classroom, which means that we're going to let students watch the video at home or offline so that it's maybe the beginning point for the next topic or the introduction to the next topic that we're going to do in the classroom. So there's a lot of reasons why we want to be able to record and present videos of material that we've done in class, all of which can be used in a myriad of different ways. So let's talk about what we're going to do specifically today and what topics we're going to hit. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our YouTube account, which is a one-time only thing to make sure we've got it set up right. Then we're going to go and set up our smart recorder, which is also a one-time thing that we need to make sure we've got it set up right so that every time we open it up, it's recording the right way that we want it to record. We're going to show you how to set up and check your sound input, which you're going to do every single time you record a class to make sure you're getting the sound and not just recording nothing. Then we're going to go ahead and record a little bit and show you how to record with your smart recorder. Then linking those things back together, we're going to post that recording onto YouTube or upload your class video onto YouTube. And then finally, to bring it around to our Moodle site, we're going to show you how to post that class video in a variety of different ways onto our YouTube site. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is set up our YouTube account, which to get to it, we're going to log into Moodle and click on our Gmail. And once our Gmail comes open, then we go up top to where it says More, and underneath More it says YouTube, the very top thing. So that's the first thing, is to get to our YouTube account. Now it's never been set up if up there on the top right hand side we see our email address. So we're going to go there and then go down to My Channel, which is what I just clicked on, and we have to set up our channel first. Now we have to pick out a channel name. This can't be changed. It can only have letters and numbers. And so this is what on YouTube is going to identify us. So in this case, I'm going to use NTHS sub because I'm using the sub account. And you see, as soon as I clicked off of it, it said it was available. If I click where it says check availability, it also lets us know. Again, this can't be changed. I have to pick a name for it, and then I have to pick a gender, but I can see male, female, or other. I can pick any of those. So while you're picking your name, you might want it to start with the NTHS, and then either your initials or what you teach, maybe Science Guy, NTHS Science Guy, NTHS Science JB, whatever you want. Just realize this is going to be the name of your channel, and it can't be used by anybody else on YouTube, and it can't be changed once I do it. So enough said on that. Once we put in the channel that we want it to be called, whatever that's going to be, we have to pick our gender, and like I said, we can say male, female, or other, and then we click next. Now the next thing is the privacy settings, and there's a couple clicks here. I leave it at the default setting because you can change it later to anything you want to on individual videos. But basically it says whether people can comment on it, whether they can add a video response to it, if it's a political message or something, whether they can respond, and just click next, and then we're in here. Okay, now we've almost finished setting up our account. The next thing we're going to do is and you can see our name now. It says NTHS Sub up there on the top right corner. We're going to click on the upload button that's right next to that. And this is the last thing we're going to set up on our account. By default, it will only let us upload 15 minutes worth of video. And in order to fix this, you have to have a cell phone that we can text to. We're going to click increase your limit. When you do that, you have to then pick the United States and put in a cell phone number. And what it's going to do is it's going to text you a code to make sure you're a person. And then you're going to have to enter that code. So you have to have a cell phone number, or if you don't have a cell phone, you can use Google Voice. I just clicked on mine, and I'm using the record to cover it up so my phone number is not listed on the internet. So it texted me a number. I look at my text, and then I'm going to type in that 6-digit number right here, and I click verify, and that is the end of setting up my YouTube account, and it will be then have an unlimited amount of time. Actually, I think it's 12 hours. But anyways, we will get rid of that 15-minute limit by verifying that. And now you can see in the bottom down there, it doesn't say that anymore. So that's step one, setting up our YouTube account. Okay, so we've got our YouTube account set up. The next thing that we're going to do is set up our smart recorder, and this is also a one-time thing to make sure it's set up from now on for recording in the right format. So everyone should have a shortcut to smart recorder on their desktop. The icon for it might look a little bit different. In fact, my icon, you can't see anything at all in it. Anyway, so you're going to open up smart recorder, and this is what should open up when you get it. And you're going to do the drop down and go to options. And like I said, we only have to set this once. Now the default sound and video quality is not the problem here. We're going to go to the video format, and the default video format takes forever to save. So we're going to switch it to the bottom format, which is the smart format or an AVI format, so that every single time we record, it records in an AVI format. While we're in options, you can also look to see whether it's going to default save all your files, which I think always goes to My Documents. You could set up a recorded class folder like I did so that they all go there. But when you're done, you just click OK. And now every single time you record with Smart Recorder, it's going to do it in that AVI format, which is something you need to have set up right. The next thing we're going to do is show you how to set up your sound input, which you really want to check every single time you record, because if it's wrong and you record a whole class and then there's no sound, you will be unhappy. And I mess this up from time to time, so you really want to make sure you have this set up right. So the next thing we're going to do is show you how to set up your sound input. Okay, so we're going to set up our sound input, and we're going to do that through the control panel. So we're going to go to Start and to Control Panel, and I'm actually going to put a shortcut of it to my desktop to make it so I don't have to do a couple of steps every time. I've just opened in Classic View of the Control Panel, which shows everything, which is what I want. If you open up the Control Panel and don't see this view, what you want to do is up on the left-hand side underneath the word Control Panel, it says Switch to Category View. That may be what you see right now. And I'm going to go ahead and click it so that you see what I'm talking about. So if you're in category view and you want to switch to classic view, it's the exact same button. So if you see this, then your button says switch to classic view. So you want to switch to classic view first so that you can see the icon that we're going to drag to your desktop to make it easier for you. So there's a sounds and audio devices. It looks like a speaker right there. And I'm just going to drag that to my desktop so that I have a shortcut right there so that I don't have to come into here every single time I want to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and close the control panel, and I'm going to open it up through the shortcut that I just made on my desktop. Now this shortcut takes us to the place where we have to make sure that our input is right every single time we record. So when I go in there, I'm going to go to the third tab over that says audio, and I want to make sure I've got the snowflake as my audio device. If it doesn't say blue snowflake, I need to switch it to that, and I need to make sure my audio, the volume for the mic, is all the way up. So I'm just going to slide it all the way up, make sure it's all the way up there, and then click OK. And that's all I have to do. But every time before I start in the beginning of the day, if I'm going to record lessons, I check that so that I know that I've got the right audio input. Okay, we're most of the way through now. We've set up our YouTube account, we've set up Smart Recorder, we've checked our input, and now we're going to record a class. Now, we're not going to obviously record a whole class. The process is the same. In this case, I'm going to use Smart Notebook, but you know, if you don't use Smart Notebook, if you use Mimeo Notebook, with the Mimeo recorder, if you use the Smart Recorder and you're doing a PowerPoint or you're just showing a website or whatever you're using, it's going to capture whatever you do on the screen, and it's going to capture the audio through the snowflake mic that we've got mounted on your ceiling. So if I'm talking about Notebook, it doesn't really mean you have to be doing it in Notebook. So the basic process is that you've got your sound set up, you open up Smart Recorder, and when you're ready to record, you just hit the record button. And you'll notice there it's got a record button and it's got a pause button. And you can minimize it. And when you're all done, you stop. So in an 80-minute class, if you've got, basically 3 15-minute mini lectures with exercises in between them, you can record and then pause while your students are doing an exercise and either stop it as separate recordings or hit record again to restart the recording. It's not like you have to make it either one ginormous 80-minute file, which obviously your students will probably never watch, or you can break it up into small ones. So as soon as I hit recording on there, you'll see that the pause turns blue, and so does the stop. And I can minimize it down to the bottom, and it says it's recording down at the bottom, so I know that I'm recording whatever I'm doing right now. And if I want to pause it, I just click on it again, and I click the pause button, and then the record turns red again, and it means that whenever I'm ready to start recording the class, I hit record. My experience is pause and recording isn't the greatest because sometimes I forget to restart. So all of a sudden I'm in the middle of my lecture and I've basically realized I got to open it back up and hit record. So and I will also say that occasionally when I pause and restart, it messes up the sound. So when I'm done, all I do is hit stop. It defaults the name to the date and time that I just hit stop. I can change that to whatever I want to. I hit save. It takes just a few seconds, and that file is saved. If I want to preview it, I can click the checkbox that says play recording before I click OK, and just see what it sounded like, if it worked out. And I will tell you that when I record lessons, if I've got a repeat block, I will record them both and upload the one that worked out the best, that I either did it the best or felt like I gave the best question and answers, whatever. We know that every class is not the same. So I might record more than one class and upload the best one. The other possibility is, as a math teacher, if you use different example problems for how to do division, for instance. Probably a bad example in high school, but let's say you did. If you do different example problems and post Brown 1 and Brown 2 and tell the Brown 1 kids, hey, that are having problems, you need to watch the Brown 2 class because I showed different problems, and vice versa, tell the Brown 2 kids, hey, you need to watch the Brown 1 one, so they get twice as many examples of how to do something in the case of mathematics by watching your online classes. Okay, and that really brings us back around to the why. Again, we're recording classes for the student that's not in the room, is a primary thing. For the absent student that, your lecture was important, your class, your discussion was important, you wouldn't have done it. So you need to make sure those absent students are able to get to it. You're able to provide intervention and additional instruction to students over and over again if it's something they're having problems with. They can use it to review tests. They can use it to review different problems. Like I just said, in the case of a math teacher, you've got 3 blocks of Algebra 1, and if you do different example problems in each one, your students could conceivably get 3 times the number of examples for how to do that kind of math problem that you're doing that particular day. Plus, it allows that extra ability for parents to see it so they could support you by understanding what you're doing or what you're trying to teach them, especially in the case of math, because math has changed in how we do problems, particularly at the lower levels, since we went to school. And when my kids did problems, I'm like, I have no idea what you're doing. And of course, in the case of blended learning, which this is all about, we can give them reviews in our own class. We can say, hey, I need you to watch this video which goes over that again because you're obviously having problems with that topic. We can provide new information at different levels to differentiate our class. And the last thing is obviously what I talked about earlier, flipping the classroom, having the students watch a 5 to 10 minute video at night to prepare them for the next class gives you the ability to start all new discussions, to have that item that starts off the class already done. They already know the objective for the lesson. You've given them an overview or maybe a review that goes over why this is connected to the new, how this new material is connected to old material, which is a great way to flip the classroom and keep those videos short. So we've done all the things up to uploading our video at this point. So we're going to show you really quickly. It's pretty easy how to upload your class video and then post it to your site once you've got it uploaded. Okay, so the last thing is to upload our YouTube video. I guess second to last thing. We want to log into Moodle and then click on Gmail to get to our Google account. And once we're in Gmail, again, we go to the top line and over to the More. And right underneath More should be the top thing, should be YouTube. And we click on YouTube, we should see ourselves go right into our site. We should see our username in the top right hand corner. If you don't, it might say sign in. You just click in it and it'll automatically bring you right into the account. So then you see the upload button right next to it. We're going to click on upload to upload our first video into our YouTube account. Okay, now when we click upload, we can either click where it says select files from your computer, and it will let us browse to our computer and try to pick files, or we can just open up Windows Explorer and find the file and just drag it right on top of there where you see drag and drop files here. So if we go and find whatever folder it is that has our video in it, we can find that video and then drag it there, and it's just going to automatically start uploading. And then while it's uploading, we can fill out some information. Now we see where it says title, description on the left-hand side, and category on the right-hand side. Those are the three things we're going to set up here on the basic info screen. It always puts the title of the video that you just dragged in title, and that's never what I want it to show up there on the top of the YouTube video. So I'll type in there whatever I want the title to show along the top of the video, and then the description. In this case, I'm going to just copy and paste it there, but I might put a full description with the objective of the class in that description so they can read that underneath the video itself when they're doing that. And then on the right hand side, I always just it's a drop down under category. I always just pick education there as the category on the right hand side, and then I'll move on to the advanced settings as soon as I've got my title, description, and category set up in there. Okay, and then we'll go to the advanced settings. The advanced settings we don't have to do, but it's where I can pick whether students can comment, vote, give feedback, make a video response to something in the case of political ad. So that's where I can uncheck on the left-hand side those things. And on the right-hand side, I can set the location. I just put 45347 in there and hit search, so it's at our approximate location. And then the date, I just click on the today button to do that. So this is where if you don't want them to be able to comment, that's where you can just uncheck those things. So any of those individual settings you can hit. And then on the right hand side, I just, like I said, I put in our location and just hit search and then hit in today to set today's date. So that's all I do, and then it will automatically save them, or you can just hit save and you can see I've already done it on the bottom right hand corner. And then that's just going to finish uploading on its own. You can minimize the browser while that's happening, and after it's done uploading, then it's going to process the video and change the format to YouTube's format. And when I'm done, I can go up here under my name again and go to the video manager, which is how I see the video. So right now you can see it's processing it, and when it's done, it's just going to pop and show that the thing is done. And if I want to click on the video, I just click on the name right there, how to change your resolution in YouTube, and that will take me directly to the video, which I'm going to want to do because I need the address to do the final part of this, which is to post it on my site. So here's what it looks like on YouTube, and up top I have the full address up there, and that's what I need to go to the next step to post it into Moodle. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that and then I'm going to take it to go and do my last part, which is posting that in my class video. So I need that. I'm going to highlight it and say copy, and then I'm going to go into Moodle to actually use that link in Moodle. So here we are in the example Moodle course that is our example for how to set up Moodle courses, and I've got a little demo area set up on the bottom that I'm going to post it to. So I've gone to that demo area and I've turned editing on, and I'm going to make it a resource, and there's 3 different kind of resources I could really use, but I could use any resource. The first one I'm going to show you is a label. If I want that YouTube video to show up right in the middle of my course and say, hey, I want everybody to go there and watch it, I might want to put it in there with a label. It's really, really easy. The process is the same. I'm going to type a word, any word. In this case, I'm going to use the word video. I'm going to go to the little link button that looks like a little piece of chain where it says URL. I paste the link in there that I just copied, and I say OK, and I save it, and that's it. It automatically shows up in the middle of my page. That's what a label does, is shows stuff in the middle of your page. That's one way to do it. The process is the same no matter which one of the resources I pick. So the next one I'm going to show you is a web page. If I don't want it to show up right in the middle of my course, I could use a web page. By using a web page, I type whatever words up top under name that I want to show up in the course. In this case, I'm using the words video link. And again, down below where it says compose a web page, I can use any words I want to. I use video usually. I highlight it, I click the link button, and I put the address right in there. Once I say OK, I can scroll down to the bottom and save it, and it's going to show it. There it goes. It's going to show it as a video inside a Moodle web page. So now I've got the one that I just did that's embedded, and then I've also got this one that says video link. If a student clicks on it, they see the video, the YouTube video right there, and if they play it, they don't go to YouTube. They stay right here inside my Moodle page and watch it there. And if they click full screen, they're still staying on my page. It's just full screen right there. If they were on a PC, that would be a factor. If not, this is actually about the perfect size for the tablet. It's almost the exact size of the tablet screen what the Moodle defaults to. I will tell you that I use the web page primarily because it doesn't clutter up your page. The other thing you can do when you use a web page is that you can put all your stuff for one chapter under one link. For instance, I'm going to say all the lessons for chapter 2 under one link. I can make basically an ongoing web page that I come back to every single time I add a YouTube video, and just add the YouTube video on the same link. So in this case, the first time I do it, I could say chapter 2 introduction and give a little brief description of what this lesson goes over, and then post the link underneath that introduction. And then every single time I post another one, if I'm talking about specifically just the class recordings that I'm doing, I can just keep adding to it and adding to it and adding to the same web link and let the kids know, hey, if you miss a class, this is where you go for that chapter. So I have a little thing. Again, I put a word, I link it, and then I could, under that, put the next lesson if I came back in to edit it again, and put a brief description of that lesson. And again, all I have to do is have that link from my YouTube site, that address up top. I use the word video every time so that I know when I'm editing, I know what that is. So I know that I linked a video to that word, so I always use the word video. Because when I'm editing, you can see I don't see the YouTube embedded in there. Moodle automatically does that for me once I save it and I'm looking at it as a web page. So again, I just use the word video, I highlight it, I click the little link button, and then put the address in. I'm using the same one, but it would be obviously different videos that we do. And when I hit save, I would see basically different videos in those spots because it would be different classes that I have there. And when I come back in, I can just go and add another one. I will say one of the other things you can do besides just linking it is adding the actual address itself as well. And the reason I do that is so that if the kid's using a tablet and needs to download the video to their tablet, they need to know what the link is. They need to be able to go to it on YouTube to download that video. So I like to put the addresses in there as well so that they have the ability to download it. Because one of the great things about using YouTube is that, number one, they can watch it on any device, and that's why we're not uploading WMVs or Windows files like we used to do. They can see it on their tablet, they can see it on their phone, they can see it on an Apple device, they can see it on a PC, they can see it on anything. And in the case of the tablets, they will also be able to download the video using the TubeMate app and have it on their device. So if they're in that 10% of kids that said they didn't have internet at home, they can download your video during intervention, or if you give them time during class, to their tablet, and then they can watch it offline at home. So that's one of the advantages of right by the video actually putting the address in there that you copied out of it. And obviously, again, I'm putting the same address all 3 times, but you'd have a different one for each video as you built those, and then the student would be able to go and use that address to go straight to the video with TubeMate as well. So there's only one other way to do it, and that's to actually add it as a direct link to YouTube. Not the way I do most of them, but in this case, if you say link to a file or website, you put a name in there. In this case, I'm saying video on YouTube, and you put the address right in there under the location. I hit save, and then the difference with this one is if I click on it, I'm going to YouTube. And I normally don't do that on my site. I like it to stay inside Moodle if I can. Okay, hopefully that covered our topics for today. We set up our YouTube account. We set up our smart recorder. We learned that we need to check our sound input every time before we start recording a lesson. We showed briefly how to record a lesson with smart recorder, which is pretty easy. We uploaded our first video, and we posted a video a variety of different ways on Moodle that we already uploaded onto YouTube. So we got a little project to show that we've worked on that. So what you need to do if you want to get credit for the project is you have to set up your YouTube site just like we just did. You have to unlock the 15-minute time restriction. You have to record a lesson of greater than 15 minutes that you're actually teaching in your class. If you want to make it an E-day lesson, a sub-day lesson, actual lesson that you're teaching in class, whatever, it has to be a recorded class lesson for one of your classes of greater than 15 minutes. You have to upload it into YouTube. You have to post it in one of your Moodle classes, and then you email me a link to that, and the link should be to the lesson in your Moodle class. So in Moodle, wherever you're at, you just copy the URL or the address up top and post it in your Gmail and email it to my Gmail address to get credit for completing the project. It should be a relatively simple project or an easy project, and I do realize that I talk fast sometimes, and that's one of the advantages of doing it this way, so that you can pause me, rewind me if you need to, and as always, feel free to call me if there's something that I left open or vague that didn't make sense in the video. Thanks.